AI Championship here. So last time out we were at Daytona Road Course, which is going to be the only circuit that we traveled to that was not in Gran Turismo 4 in some variation, as none of the tracks from Gran Turismo 4, no, I'd say Tsukuba and so the real circuits that were in Gran Turismo 4 are unchanged, but a lot of the original circuits are somewhat modified. So now that we have completed Daytona, we will be heading to all the tracks that featured in Gran Turismo 4, and once we've reached the final circuit that was in Gran Turismo 4, this will be over. I will tally up points and get those into the description at some point. I didn't do that for race 1 because I wasn't sure yet if I was still going to continue this. However, I do need to take you through the field here. So, the majority of all the cars are still the same. In fact, the only car that was replaced was the 155 DTM, as it is unable to be upgraded any further. It was maxed out, so it was not competitive enough. So it's been replaced by the Mobile 1 NSX JGTC. However, some cars have been modified heavily. Some cars have just had their weight and power stats manipulated, but the 190Es have been given a V8 borrowed from the AMG GTR GT3 car. So, without further ado, let's get this underway. And all the grids are set randomly. Time to see if the 190E with its newfound V8 power and torque can be more competitive and stay on the lead lap. Thing looks tough to drive. So much power and such a chassis as the 190 has. You can see Curtis is getting loose on these corner exits, struggling to keep this 190 under control. And here comes Yokola down the inside. He makes quick work of the old DTM machine. And Yokola's getting loose! He spins, and there's contact between the 190E and the Viper. Piraz, he runs third, now net P1. Both that Viper and 190E are going to have to come down to the pits for repairs. And the RX-8 LM race car makes his way past the NSX. That NSX is struggling in the straights, but he's definitely got the corner speed as Piraz holds the lead. Yokola down to second. That 190E tumbling through the field with front end damage. Oh, and he makes contact with Reina in the other XJ220. It's a calamity all over the field as Agaki looked to go around the outside of Simon. He did very good last time at Daytona. I believe he grabbed himself a P4 finish. And Jacobson in the RX-8 LM. He had also incurred damage. It's too bad. Jose Valverde finds himself running second, nearly 30 mile an hour slower, almost 40 mile an hour slower than the XJ220. Look at that NSX's cornering speed. He can corner like none other, but this XJ220 found his way into the lead, and it doesn't look like anyone can challenge him here. The XJ220 was one of the few cars that didn't need much work done to it. This corner is definitely proving to be tough for some of the drivers. A lot of tire squealing. Washington struggling to keep that 190E under control. But look at the gap he's pulling out on the straight. The M3 GTR is in the slipstream. Oh no, now he's losing out. Split through the middle by the RX-7 LM and the M3 GTR. Buckley gets passed by Dunn. As Calderon, the winner last time out, looks to make his way through the slower traffic. It doesn't look too hot for the 190E. It's like Mercedes is going to have to bow out of this one with that car. Not quite fast enough to keep up with this level of competition. Carros luckily gets a huge lead. Not even using all 5 of his, hardly able to use all 5 gears. You can see the straight line, the power difference between Valverde and Smith. Monstrumental. Valverde is not really extracting everything he can out of that car. Not taking the corners as fast as he should be able to. Here comes the S2000. And now Simon in the RX-7. Agaki finds himself in the top 5 yet again. Fighting with Bavaw and the Viper this time. Didn't matter where he's at, he's going to be fending off a Viper. Except for he's still side by side with Bavaw. Bavaw pushes him out. Gets the move made on the M3. Bavaw, multiple cars passing Valverde on the straight. Portilla in the RX-8, the last to make his move. Calderon makes his way around the first of the M3 GTRs. Even if he still has a faster car than the XJ220, it's going to be tough to catch up. Such a deficit. Carros about to make his way onto the main straight. At second place, Simon only just now getting through that chicane. And he gets loose on corner exit. Something that the S2000 doesn't have to worry about. George Curtis not having a great day. Mainly because George Curtis is actually still in the 4-cylinder car. There seems to have been an error. The V8 cars are not on track. Well, that's a tragedy. They'll have to remember to get them out to see if that car can be competitive, but it seems they've forgotten this time, and now they're occupying lower spots down the grid. Oh, we've got a Jacobson in the RX-8 LM spins. Look at how much wear is on that tire already. Under Washington. Morena. Carros now makes his way into the first chicane, followed by Simon, Smith, Bavaw, and Agaki. They make up your top 5. Once again, those Vipers look quick, but the drivers just struggling to find their way around cars that handle maybe just a bit better.
Gets loose. Bavard is loose. Half spin for Bavard.
What a troublesome time these drivers have been having through that corner. Agaki now finds himself right on the back bumper of Bavard, but just unable to make a move. Doesn't quite have the straight line speed. You can see Bavard already right back up to the rear bumper of that S2000, despite having a moment just a few corners before. But if this continues to be a trend and Agaki's in the right spot, he could get around him. But if he's in the wrong spot, he could incur some damage, which would ruin both of their races. Bavard's really struggling with the tail end of that Viper, as Simon makes his best attempts in the RX-7 LM race car to catch the XJ220 LM race car of Perez. However, his inability to exit these corners or even get to them so fast, you can see Smith closes up in that last sector, but once you hit the straights, that difference is just immeasurable. It's insane. Agaki looks to have a very fast car. Maybe not the fastest out there today, but he has a quick car. I know he'd like to get around Bavard, but Bavard obviously doesn't want to give that spot up, as his teammate, sadly, really nowhere to be seen after incurring damage from a spin of his own earlier on this race. Can Bavard keep it together? Yes, but Agaki can't! The M3 GTR for a change is the one struggling through the corner. Look at Portia's tires. We're just past the 10-minute mark and he's already cooked his tires. No one else is anywhere near that bad on tires, and here comes Dunn, trying to make a move on Valverde, but not quite able to. Josef Valverde holds his ground. You see just the difference in cornering speed. Right up there. Buckley. And Jokela was one of the better drivers. Had a second place finish last time out, but he's struggling to control that Viper. Hunter Washington, surprisingly staying somewhat relevant with some of the cars that managed to lap him last time out. They haven't gotten the updated car either. Honda's going to have to bring some updates as well to the NSX. They focused on the S2000 for this race, and it appears to be... Oh no, maybe it isn't working. Bavard's up to third. And Agaki not doing good on tires. He's been cooking the rears. Simon gets through okay. Bavard gets a little loose. Agaki. Portia's loose! And that's a full 360. And that's big contact between Valverde and Portia. Portia has engine damage. Jokela manages to get through with no problem. However, Buckley has to slow down. Cunningham has damage. And Jacobsen has damage too. So does Hansen. This is good news for Washington. However, George Curtis just as disappointing as last time. Went from first to last. Bavaw. Doesn't have as much straight line speed as Simon, but boy does he have the measure of Simon in the corners. That Viper, what an incredible handling car. Agaki with questionable tires. Calderon cleared up some of his damage. Comfortably out ahead of Reina. Bavaw has crashed, and he tags Agaki. He tags Smith. Bavaw's fight for the lead might be over. I don't think he's coming back from that one. Agaki is going to have to be very disappointed. Had a very good car. Someone else's mistake has cost him big time here today. However, Piral, not even a quarter wear on those tires. He's just out there cruising. Tire wear is on 6X here, and Piraw's on track to never make a pit stop. Simon hasn't really made too much ground as Agaki dives into the pits along with Smith, leaving Dunn to pick up third place. That's going to put 2 RX-7s on the podium. Getting some repairs taken care of. On his way out, Agaki manages to lose only 1 position as he merges out just in front of teammate Buckley. But Buckley he cedes position to avoid making heavy contact. But Calderon powers around the outside of Buckley. That 4GT is something else. Simon can't quite tell if he's catching up to Peraz yet. However, his tires do look a lot worse. Agaki would have benefited from the ability to change tires in his last pit stop. Calderon struggling to keep up with his competitors on the straights, but boy oh boy do these corners look like nothing for him as he makes his attack. Through on Agaki. Calderon's fastest lap is a 1:55.1. However, Piraz 1:53.1. Can Calderon, however, now with a lap all to himself, try and take down the fastest lap set by Piraz so far? This is how we know Simon isn't catching up. His last lap almost 2 seconds slower. Calderon's tires don't look perfect. Pirot's tires, it looks like he's on autopilot. Teammate Reina, however, showing a little bit more wear. Piros now on the straight. Let's compare lap times this lap. Piros across the line, it's a 156.593. Can Simon beat a 156.593? No, he cannot. It's a 158.898. Can Dunn beat the 56? I don't think so. He's got Calderon breathing down his neck. Dunn's lap time is a 2 minutes 5. Calderon's a 156.657. Just slower than Piros. Jokula has made his way back up into 8th now. Gets around Bertin. Has to make his way around Buckley. Jokula still struggles to find grip through there. Bertin collects Valverde. Bertin's in he's in the 4-wheel drive car. And he's still struggling. Washington finally needing a new tire. He'll have to make another pit stop at some point during this race. However, his teammate George Curtis stays behind. Perrault makes his way around the lap traffic with no problem. Makes his way around with ease. Calderon finds himself behind Rena. Rena just recently set a 54.9. However, Rena is still struggling to get around Dunn. Meanwhile, Pirot could, at this point, pull into the pits for a meal, come out, and still win this race. I knew that the field would be pretty unbalanced, but I didn't think it would ever be this unbalanced. It's just tough to make such different cars competitive under the AI. Simon is consistently falling behind. Consistently putting in 58-second lap times. Or 1 minute 58-second lap times. Reina around the outside of Dunn. Agaki's tires finally quit. Buckley and Agaki have worn those tires roughly the same rate. There's more tire wear than last time at Daytona. Oh, whoops. And yet, Piroff's doing better than I ever could have imagined anyone could do. However, he has been alone practically all race. The only time he's seen other cars is when he put them a lap down. Reina slides, Dunn slides, Calderon doesn't. Yokola, this man has had a tumultuous race. Yet still a very fast car and a very fast driver. Way faster down the straight than Calderon. Just can't quite corner it like that Ford GT can. Dunn was not a hard pass for Reina, who isn't driving like someone who wants to retain their position. Yokola wants to make a move on Calderon. Needs to find a straight that's long enough. He's going to have an advantage here. Dunn is slowing Calderon down, which is going to stop Calderon from getting a really good exit. However, Calderon has lined up the move, but doesn't have the speed. Will Yokola make this 3 wide? Across the line, it's 3 wide. Dunn retains 4th, Yokola up to 5th. Now Yokola has to make his way around Dunn, and Reina's not too far up the road. He can still recover a podium here. Right up the rear of Dunn, whose tires are done. But they make contact, Yokola. Calderon makes contact with Dunn and picks up damage. Yokola knows the car in front of him is on dead tires. He's hearing it from his engineer. Oh, it's contact into the wall for Yokola, but he manages to keep his nose clean. Disappointing for Dunn. Yokola radioing the team, asking to check for damage. They've just come back and let him know the front of the car is clean and he can continue on. As he dives down the inside of Calderon. Calderon has the grip, has the downforce to go around the outside. But Calderon has not had the ability to keep his nose clean. He struggled with that all race long. And that's what's made our top 3. Simon has had a clean race so far. However, he is going to have to worry about that tire. In a perfect world, he would need to do about 2 more laps. He's maintaining a consistent pace. He just wants to get to the halfway point of the race so that he doesn't have to make a second stop. Calderon comes in to fix damage as well as Dunn. Dunn has damage and a dead tire, so Dunn's going to have to exit onto the track, do a lap on a dead tire, and then pit for a tire. Don't believe Dunn can do 2 things at once in the pits. Calderon gets damage repairs. How about Dunn? Dunn is taking tires. It appears the AI can take tires and get damage repaired as long as their tires are completely dead. Piraz's tires still not halfway worn, as he's creeping up to the halfway distance. Milestone in this race. I don't know if Simon can do another lap on that tire. If it goes down before the end of this lap, he's gonna have to pit. Simon now having to work with oversteer. Tire down. He's going to brave it out. He'd rather do a lap on a dead tire than have to make an extra pit stop. But he's got Washington up on his rear. Simon's going to set a disappointingly slow lap time here. 2:03. And Piraz in the lead. 1:56.394. That of the leaders at the moment. But Yokola will need a godsend as he's trying to make his way around Piraz's teammate Rena. That Viper looks great, sounds great, and drives great. It's got the all-in-one package going here. Yokola gets loose fighting with Rena. Rena gets loose fighting with Yokola. Both drivers manage to walk away damage-free. However, Yokola's best opportunity to make a pass has just slipped away. Simon trying to keep the lap car of Hunter Washington behind. However, out there, he's making the FD in his car's name look like it stands for Formula Drift. But as Simon kept his nose clean, he should not have to make any more pit stops after this one. Simon, however, will lose position to the pit lane. He lost a lot of time with that dead tire. Yokola's lap time that time around, 1:58.916. Now about 2 seconds slower than Piraz, which is definitely going to more than offset any gains he had from the lap prior to. However, now he is, by default, running in a podium position. Rena clears the 190E. Yokola clears the 190E. Yokola's going to want to make a move. Rena's loose. Yokola's loose. Yokola more loose than Rena. Both these two struggling to drive. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead a little bit to the 40-minute mark of the race. Piraz still leads from his teammate Rena, who's under attack from Yokola. However, Rena's tires are about to give up. Yokola still has a little bit of life as Rena big slide, and we're not even in the troublesome corner. Now we are, and Rena's finally been passed by Yokola. Simon on a fresh tire, trying to perform an undercut. Yokola finally set free. Piraz just chilling. Bavar trying to defend from Dunn. We are at 7, however, very fast in a straight line. Agaki, gotta be disappointed with P9 at the moment. Reina taking tires and repairing damage. Yokola will have to pit for tires. I'd be very surprised if Yokola manages to make this tire last. Piros' tires don't look all the much better. And he's still questionable. As we move ahead to the 50-minute mark. Yokola's tires indeed look like they're in dire need of a swap. Piraz managed to set a 153-142 with worn tires. The man has been insane today. Whilst Calderon, not been so hot. Calderon has not been able to compete with some of these higher horsepower cars. Look at Dunn, he's flying. Dunn's alongside and Dunn is through. That's a done deal for 4th. Calderon on the inside. He's passed. Nothing he'll be able to do about that except for complain. The real story is, can Piros complete this race without making a single pit stop? He's got practically half a track's worth of distance to Yokola, so he can do whatever he wants. He could crash, get damage, pit, repair damage, and then pit for tires and still be good. He's about, I'd say, 50 seconds in front. Somewhere in that 40 to 50 second range. Dunn has damage. Who'd he get it from? It was Calderon. Good news for Demir. Bad news is he needs tires. Good news is he didn't have any damage. All of this, though, good news for Agaki, who has neither damage nor needs to take tires before the end of this race. Demir needs tires, Dunn needs repairs, Calderon needs repairs. However, it looks like the top 3 is 100% out of the question. These 3 guys look pretty much like a lock. However, whether or not Yokola or Simon ends up second is the real question. Yokola's tires can't make the end of the race. Piraz's tires might not. However, Simon's tires look A-okay. Dunn's rear bumper looks bad. Calderon's front bumper looks bad. Demir's front right tire looks bad. He may not pit this lap, but he'll be pitting at the end of lap 28, more than likely. Good thing Dunn's using assists, because he needed them there. Demir's going to carry on that with that old right front tire just a little longer. Comes the pit crews for Dunn and Calderon now. Meanwhile, Ogaki making his way through the chicane. Through the first part, through the second part. Calderon and Dunn now enter their boxes. Ogaki making his way down the straight. Calderon getting repairs. He's out. Dunn is out. Where does Ogaki? Where do they come out in regards to Ogaki? Ogaki up to 6th. Can he get Dunn? No! He gets Calderon. He does not get Dunn. Ogaki now gets passed by Calderon. Bad news. He looked like he might have had a top 5 in the bag. But unless Calderon and Dunn both get into an incident, I don't think so. Demir will pit. Demir was with these two. Ogaki would struggle to get past them. Dunn, loose, keeps it under control. Calderon, no problems. Ogaki, however, has a slipstream and a faster car in a straight line. Pulls alongside. Ogaki into 6th place. Just needs to have enough pace to pass Demir, as Demir will exit the pits. Potentially behind Ogaki. However, I don't think Demir's pitting this lap. I believe Demir is going to stretch it. No indicator. Demir's going to stretch it. Sadly, Ogaki's incredible straight line speed is not enough to keep him ahead of Calderon through the twisters. Dunn's tires don't look great. Calderon goes for the outside. Calderon fails. Onto the main straight. Calderon tries to pull out. Calderon didn't have the speed to pull out. However, Ogaki does, sending it up the inside. He clears ahead of the high-speed Sector 1 chicane. He's going to want to focus on fighting Dunn, but he's also got to focus on Calderon. Dunn's going to have to make another pit stop. Dunn is not Ogaki's problem. I don't think he will be. Calderon, who's just made his way past Ogaki, and Ogaki has collided with Calderon. Dunn does need to pit for tires, so this isn't the end for Ogaki's hopes in fighting for 5th, but however, 4th! That's a full spin from Dunn, and Ogaki passes Calderon before the straight. Demir, however, is only just at the end. Can Calderon make that tire last to the end? I do believe so. Perez's tires aren't going to make it to the end. Yokola finally makes his pit stop. But as Demir is too far behind, and also in need of a pit stop, it's not going to do anything. Yokola's waiting for new tires, but I think Simon has just taken 2nd place, and I think he's going to stay there. Yokola's going to need to have an absolute incredible last stint here, but as for some reason the team can't put on a soft tire, I don't think he's going to have enough time to catch. We look to Bavard, who is now potentially a competitor for that top 5 position that everybody's after. Demir. Car's up, getting tires. They've dropped the car, he's making his exit. Agaki entering his stall. Calderon entering his stall. Agaki's got damage repair, they're letting him free. Calderon set free. Calderon is behind Agaki, as expected. However, they're both behind Bavard, who, as long as he can make that tire last 2 more laps, may be hidden for a top 5 surprise. Yokola and Simon's gap is far too large for Yokola to make up. Demir's gap to Bavard, not very large. Agaki and Calderon not too far behind, but Demir has fresh tires. No anyone's going to challenge Demir. It's down to whether or not Agaki can keep Calderon behind, and whether or not Agaki has the pace to catch Bavard. Bavard's front tires are hurting. Bavard's rear tires are hurting. Agaki's rear tires are hurting, but not his fronts. He's got about the same amount of rear tire wear, but significantly less front tire wear. 5th, 6th, and 7th, all about equal on tire wear. Calderon actually looks the worst of the 3. Calderon might cut down a tire, but I don't think they're going to get another lap. They've got more than 30 seconds worth of track to cover, if you'd ask me. I think Demir's going to be the last car on the lead lap. And I don't even think Demir's going to make it. Demir heading down the main straight. This is to stay on the lead lap. Can Demir make it? With milliseconds to spare, Bavard finishes 5th, Agaki 7th, Agaki 6th, Calderon 7th. Dunn is 8th. However, Kiraz, what a show off. Pit on the final lap for tires. As we're on board with the leader. That's a win for Paras. Merges out of the circuit, the winner. Valverde takes 13th, Cunningham 14th. This is a very, very, very unbalanced field. However, I do have to say, it is fun watching these cars. Hello there, Sushi. How are you doing? Sadly, Yib kind of just jumped in here right at the end. Ooh, Perra had damage. Who's getting feisty there? Unless that happened on the cooldown lap. I wasn't paying too much attention. Demir is the last car to finish the race. Here he is. That should be everyone across the line. George Curtis. Look at the gap between him and his teammate. Hansen's in the pit lane. However, I don't know why. Hey, he's just in the pit lane. I'm assuming he came into pit before the race ended. Entered his crossed the timing line right after the race ended, and now he's just stuck in the pits. But he is finished. I gotta say, what a performance from Parov. As pace car finally makes its way out. Well, it's all for Trial Mountain. I've tried to make this field a little more balanced, but as you can see, it's possible when you've got a bunch of road cars built up to be race cars and Group 3 cars out on the circuit. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about all of that. This was kind of a showcase event, kind of showing off some of the cars that could be seen in the Gran Turismo 4 sort of tournament, career mode tournament that I'll be holding in November. I don't think I'm going to continue doing this per se. However, it was fun. An idea like this could be, you know, fun to do, but I believe the cars would just have to be very close, you know, closely aligned in the same class. Maybe a JGTC event would be a lot more, I don't know, close. However, it's just tough to do considering you can only have one livery on a car at a time. If I wanted to create a full 20-car JGTC field that all had different bespoke liveries, that would cost me 40 million credits plus in game. Maybe, yeah, no, because some of these cars are actually quite expensive. And considering I don't have access to money cheats, and if I did, I would get my account banned, which I wouldn't want to do, it's just not something I'm going to be able to pull off. With Group 3 cars, it's possible, because they only cost 450,000 credits, so it costs you less than 10 million to create a 20-car bespoke field. In fact, it costs you less than 10, I believe. Considering that tire upgrades don't matter, the AI can use only the hard. And considering you can't buy... Even if you were able to buy a tire, only like the medium or the soft, which you can't because Group 3 cars come standard on hards, they would still use the hard tire, which I have never understood. And I will never understand. But that doesn't matter. I've always wanted to do, like, these events with the cool cars, you know, with just, you know, something that's different. Not just the kind of race cars you see every race. I've also just noticed only the Hellcat pace car is the one you can see poking outside of a garage. All the other competitors... Oh, no, never mind. I think I just saw the XG220LM right there for half a second. I gotta wait for that camera to come around and see if you can see all the competitors' cars poking out of a garage, because that's actually a really cool feature. That's one of the things GT7 does perfectly. They have incredible attention to detail. Yes, they keep adding too many damn minivans and irrelevant, useless cars, or versions of cars we already have. For instance, we're getting an Evo 8 in an update tomorrow. I'd see two F-150s poking out of the garage, but those are not actually licensed 10th gen F-150s. They're just like the Marshall trucks that you see at every track. But no, attention to detail is something that has always been really good. In fact, I think I see... I'll have to zoom in on that, but that looks like a... couldn't tell if it was an F-150 or if it looked like a Silverado there, where with the camper on the back of it, suggesting that people camp out at certain parts of the track to watch races. You can really appreciate, and if I had a PS5, this would look even more gorgeous. As you can see, there's another 10th gen F-150 in the parking lot, like a Marshall car. They're scattered across the track. This kind of attention to detail even existed in GT Sport, not quite as much, but yeah, here we go. You can see the pits. It's tough to look into the garages. You can see the Hellcat is poking out very, very clearly and very distinct. However, okay, I'm looking to see if another car is poking out of any of these garages. No, I don't believe so. I believe it's only the car that you were in. I don't know if it's the car that you're in or the car you were in for the race. But yeah, that's going to be it for this event. Sadly, it was not as competitive as I wanted it to be. But, you know, you win some, you lose one. So, I'll see you guys next time I do one of these broadcasts. It won't be this specific event. It'll probably take me a few days to figure out what it is that I want to do, but I'll try and find something that's a little more competitive and fun to watch. Kind of like the F1 GT3 championships I did, where the cars were actually relatively close, and that was fun racing to watch.